Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. Today I want to do a quick video on drill bits. We built this cabinet 4 or 5 months ago now. This was the drill bit cabinet we built out of pallet wood. Since you've seen it last, I gave it a little coat of primer and then spray painted it white. It looks good enough for a drill bit cabinet in a shop. So what I want to do now is find the drill bits that I use in the shop and put them in here. I've weeded out bits that I don't really use a lot, and I want to get this thing set up to use, and I figured I'd film it and show you what drill bits I use, how I use them, and put them in. I will give you some close-ups of these bits as I'm talking, so while I'm holding it here and talking, don't worry, in a second after each bit you'll see a close-up of it so you can see what I'm describing. The first bits I want to talk about are the most common bits we own, and they are the twist bit. And I have a couple of sets here. This is a fairly inexpensive set from Harbor Freight. It's a large set. It goes from 1/16 of an inch all the way up to a 1/2 inch, and you know, that's a pretty good set of bits. I want to say I paid $9.99. It was on sale, and I used a 20% coupon to get it to that price. I don't really recommend spending more money on a set of twist bits if you're just a woodworker, because they're not the most used set of bits. We'll get to the bits you should be buying in a minute. But if you're only, if you're the homeowner, you found my channel because you watched the Ryobis, and I kind of told you about the Ryobi drill, then the twist bit might be the set of bits you get, because it's the set of bits to get if you only are going to have one set of bits. For that homeowner that has a drill at home and maybe a hammer and a screwdriver, and you need a set of bits to go with it, and that's your tool collection. Honestly, I think it's this one here. I would recommend getting this set of bits for you, the homeowner. This has a set of twist bits in it going from a 1/16 of an inch to a 1/4 inch, and a bunch of just different bits for different types of screws. This was like a $9.99 set. So $10 with the Ryobi $69 drill, $80 you got a set of everything you need. But for us woodworkers, we want to move on from these. The reason we want to move on from these is these guys, when you're trying to start them, now in a drill press they're okay, but if you're using a hand drill when you're trying to start, they can slide. It's hard to get them started. You need to make a starter hole sometimes to get them to go. I'll show right now, I'll cut in a little demo of what I'm talking about there. Okay, we're back from the demo. Alright guys, so that's what you see happens with a twist bit. I do want to say that this set of twist bits here, I really like. I got it at Woodcraft, and it's I don't know how many bits are in here, but it's a replacement set of bits is what it is. Because if you buy these indexes, you're going to find that a lot of these are going to be short, 1 or 2. You're going to break a couple. You're going to lose a couple. And interestingly, it's almost always the same sizes, because as a woodworker, you use certain size drill bits to drill countersink holes all the time, to drill pilot holes all the time, and those certain type bits are the ones you lose and break. So this is a great replacement set. They are half twist bits and half brad point bits, and that's why I'm talking about these now, because the next bit I want to talk about is the brad point bit. Let me close this up, because I actually picked this thing up once without the lid closed, and boy was I doing some pickup of drill bits. The case in this is a real piece of garbage, I'll be honest with you. The bits are pretty good. When this goes on sale for 25 bucks, that's when you go get it. Woodcraft puts this on sale a couple of times a year. That's when I'd say go get this set. Now, the woodworking set of bits are brad point bits, and I have several different sets here because brad point's what I use the most. To be very honest with you, the reason that brad point bits are the best are there's two reasons. One, and I'll do a close-up of this right now. So as you can see, if you look at this drill bit closely, it has this center spur. And when you're drilling with that center spur, it can dig in on your mark and it won't wander. So you can start your mark start your bit exactly where you want and drill your hole accurately. These side cutters are also sharp and they cut a cleaner hole. So you're going to get a cleaner hole with this than a twist bit, and it's going to be more accurate. I have several different sets here. Brad point bits at this size are very expensive. To put things in perspective, this set here was $12, and I love these little short ones. I actually have the short set in twist bit as well. These are twist, and these are Brad point. When you really have a hard time getting a drill inside a cabinet to get a hole that you kind of forgot to do, maybe when it was apart, these things kind of save your butt sometimes, because look at how much shorter they are. This is my go-to user set that I use in my handheld Ryobi drill. These are a little less expensive than this set. This set is from, I want to say that's a $20 set there. This is, that's a $15 set. This is a $25 set. Each one of these envelopes, these come from Lee Valley. Each set is about 25 bucks. They are a little bit better quality, and what I like about them is Lee Valley sells them in kits. You know, so I got a set of 8 metric and 7 imperial. The metric go from 3mm to 10mm. They also have an 11 to 20mm set, but that's much more expensive at these big sizes. And they also have 4 more imperial bits that go up to a ½ inch, so, or actually to a full inch. This one goes from 1/16 to a ½ inch. So those other 4 cost $60. They're between $20 and $15 a piece. So as the metal gets bigger, they get more expensive. But this is where I will spend the money on drill bits, because these are the bits we use in woodworking. So this is where you want to spend your money. The twist bits, like I said, you use those sparingly. You use them occasionally when you're cutting metal. They're not as important. These are your bread and butter here. That's why I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sets. And I'm sure I have a few more sets. I'm sure one of these green ones has, as a matter of fact, that one right there has Brad point bits in it. So Brad point bits are the way to go. I will cut a demo in here to show you how they drill a hole right now. Okay guys, the next bit I want to talk about is the Forstner bit. And this is one I bought individually. It's an 1 3/8. I don't know why I needed an 1 3/8. It was for some project. And I have a set up here, and it doesn't have an 1 3/8 in it. So I needed to buy an individual bit. And sometimes I would say for Forstner bits especially, it might be the best way to go, because a kit can cost you a couple $100 if you get a really good one. This is not a really good kit. This kit cost me about $40. These bits burn through the wood more than they cut. I would not recommend buying a $20, $30, $40 set of Forstner bits. You're better off buying 1 or 2 at $9, $10, $11 at the sizes you need, because you're going to get a better quality bit than those bits. Forstner bits have a couple of very unique features. They will, as you can see here, they're flat bottom. They will drill a hole with a flat bottom if you're not going all the way through the wood. And that's important if you want to put something into that hole. Think here, the European hinges. They go into a hole that's a cup, and you put the hinge in and screw it in, and then it's kind of hidden. The other use case for these things is when you want to hog away some wood. These guys can overlap their holes. So you can drill a hole here, move over just halfway, and keep going, and you can remove a lot of lumber. Say you want to put a extra large hinge in or something, and you need to remove a large amount of lumber, wood. These guys can do that, and then you just have to chisel right around the edge where you have your knife line. So it's a couple of good use cases for a Forstner bit. I personally, I believe you could spend a lot of money on these. I will buy a good set of Forstner Bits one day when I have a few extra coins in my pocket. Forstner Bits and Brad Point Bits are the woodworkers' drill bits. Those are the ones you're going to spend your money on. Now from here, we're going to talk about some specialty bits and some construction type bits that you may or may not need or have. The first one is, it's a, I'll give you a close-up of this one. This is a countersink and pilot bit in one. So what this does is it drills your pilot hole, and then it will do a countersink so that you can set your screw all the way into the wood. If you are building a lot of cabinets out of plywood where you're screwing them together, you're going to want to get at least one of these. I have a kit here, as you can see, and my kit is made by Snappy Tools. I think the Snappy Tools kit is a pretty good medium price set of these things. They come in screw sizes, so if you're using 4, 6, 8, 10, or 12 size woodworking screws, you already have the properly dimensioned pilot hole and countersink hole for those size screws. So it's kind of convenient. I bought the kit. You could buy just one. If you know you're using number 8 screws, you could just buy the number 8. This is adjustable with an Allen key that slides up and down to change the depth of your pilot hole. If you don't have one of these and you do need to do countersinking, you can get a countersink bit. Here's a close-up of that. Okay, so that's what this thing looks like. This is a this is another Lee Valley product. I'll put a link to all the Lee Valley stuff. I'll put some links in Amazon as well for some of just the generic bits. I can't remember what I paid for these, but it wasn't a whole lot of money. But you know, at Lee Valley, things do cost a little bit more. This is a very good set of countersinks. So if you have a hole already drilled, say you're using like really long screws and you still want to countersink them and bury the heads, you would use something like this. So after the hole's drilled, you just take this. You can actually, I have a little handle that can just, you know, turn and make the little countersink. Or you can put it in your drill. You can put it in your drill press and countersink the holes. If you don't have the combination tool, you might want to get one of these. They make them in different sizes, again, for the different size screws. Now moving on to some construction type stuff here. I have this. This is like my hodgepodge set here. This is where this Forstner bit lives. You know, anytime I buy an individual bit, it goes here, and obviously these sit here. These are my spade bits. I think everybody should have a set of spade bits because they are very fast drilling and very inexpensive. You can get a set of spade bits really cheap, okay? These are, what I like about these is they have the, you know, the hex 1/4 inch end on the back, so they go right into a drill driver or something. A spade bit is not a fine woodworking tool at all. It is a little rough around the edges, especially when it comes out of the board. When this thing breaks through, it makes a mess. It will blow out on the back end. So you either need to put a piece of backing wood there when you're drilling through, or you can, because it has that long spur. When the spur breaks through before the rest of the bit breaks through, you can pull back out, come in from the other side, put the spur back in the same hole, and come through. That'll get you a clean hole, but obviously that's not always an option if you're drilling into something that's already installed. So, you know, these at least can drill bigger holes, kind of like the Forstner bits can. If you don't have Forstner bits, you can use these. You can also use another construction type of bit. This is a hole saw set. I haven't used this set yet. I just got it over the holidays. Lowe's was actually running a really discounted price on this set. This was $100 and something set. I got for $37, I think. So I am planning to build a couple of sets of speakers, and I wanted to get something that can drill me 3 and 4 inch holes. So this set doesn't go to 3 and 4 inches, but now that I have all the arbors and everything, I can go buy that individual 3-inch hole saw and put it with that set. So that's why I leaped, because it was on a very deep sale and I knew I needed it. Definitely that is not a woodworking set of bits. It is, plumbers use these things to put pipes in the walls. That's what these are for. But, I've seen guys use hole saws to cut holes in all kinds of furniture. So it's something that you could think about having. For me, I'm going to be honest, guys. Get yourself a cheap set of twist bits. I like this set from Harbor Freight. Get yourself a nice, I do recommend this set from Lee Valley. I'll put a link to Lee Valley's set. You can see the set I got. I got the 8 metric and 7 imperial, but you'll see all of them there. I really like these stubbies. They're at Lee Valley as well. These are brad point, but like I said, you can also get twist. And if you're just a homeowner and you need one set, I'd go with this guy here. Remember, this guy here had the twist bits and the driver bits. And remember, guys, around the holidays, if you walk around any of the big box stores, what do they have in the cardboard displays that they put up at the end of every aisle? You're going to see these things laying everywhere. It seems this is like the #1 gift idea. There's power tools and there's bits out there. So we all have a few extra sets of these laying around. This is a good set to get as well, because this has, quite frankly, this has some brad point bits and some spade bits. So again, these normally, when these go on sale, these Ryobi cases go for $9.99. This is a good thing for $9.99. You have the spade bits to go up to 1 inch, and you have the brad point bits to do your finer woodworking. So it's another, for $10, I grabbed this thing. These green ones are going to end up in my basement with my drill press down there, and this stuff will be up here in this cabinet. So that's my drill press stuff. I will take a picture of this thing when I get it loaded. There's no sense filming me just putting the stuff in the cabinet. I'll show you the finished view of the bits that I really think are necessary for woodworking, and the ones that I'm going to put in this cabinet and hang on the wall back there.
Hey everybody, just to finish this video up, here is almost the finished product. As you can see, I have a few loose bits laying around here. I've been taking some scrap cherry from my table build that's still going on, by the way. There should be episode 3 out here right after this video. We've got the table legs glued up, and we're ready to start doing some mortise and tenon joinery. But anyway, for this video, as you can see, I've been building a bunch of little indexes here, just out of this scrap cherry. Not really a lot to it, it's not like something that we have to go through a lot of display on how to do it, but I will show you how to do one, because I have a few more loose bits that just go into these things. Anything that comes in something like this, I tend to leave them in their indexes that they come in, but when they come loose, like these Veritas Lee Valley bits came, obviously I need to build something for them. So I need to build something for those bits. I have my random Forstner bits, and believe it or not, these are more countersink bits. I got countersink bits to last me a lifetime. And there's a ton of driver bits here, longer ones, 3-inch long, 4-inch long, 5, 6-inch long driver bits, square drive, Phillips head drive. So I'm just gonna, in this one, I'm gonna build a container, a little index for all of these driver bits. So I'm building all of these at approximately 3 3/4 of an inch. And I haven't done it yet. You can see they're a little uneven here. I am going to take these to the sander and round all these corners over and make them all the same length so they look a little nicer. That'll be part of the final product. So I've measured this at 3 3/4. Let's give it a nice little cut. I like to check all the time. I am the worst sawyer in the world. I always get it good that way. I am horrible this way. You can almost see that gap there on this side. It's just a lack of practice and power tools. I mean, I use power tools most of the time. I need to do this more so that I can make better cuts. But, you know, like I said, I'm going to take these to the sander and round these ends off so the odd cut doesn't really matter. Now, where you put the holes, you know, obviously for a bunch of bits like this, I'm going to put a bunch of smaller holes. A bunch of Forstner bits, they're going to be scattered more throughout the index. And you know what? Let's do these, because it's going to take a while to lay those out. Let's do these 3 Forstner bits because they're going to go on one index. And an easy way to find the center of something is to do a little corner to corner measure. So I'm going from 1 to 4, so because I want to find just center. If I make a mark right on the number 2, that is the center of the board. Then we just take our square, run a line on that mark, and I have a nice mark centered on the board. So the 3 holes for these 3 bits will be drilled on center. And what I do is I just take the bits and I kind of lay them out. Now thankfully they all have the same size bore here. So they'll all go in the same hole, and I believe this hole is going to be 3/8 of an inch. I know I have a new 3/8 of an inch bit right here. Yeah, this bit will work fine. For most of these, I have gone to the drill press. I think you can see here, these all line up very nice, nice and straight. The way I achieve that is I have a fence, a little temporary fence I clamped to the drill press. You notice all of these run right down the middle of a board this size. So I'm going to take this over to the drill press. We're going to have to set the camera up so you can see this, so let me do that. Okay, what I've done is I've clamped a fence to this little drill press table, and now I'm using the fence to make sure all 3 holes are the same distance from that side. And I also have the depth stop set so that all holes are the same depth. Alright guys, I'm back from the drill press. So we have 3 holes. As you can see, I was a little bit off center. Which is fine, like I said. We just want to have the lines straight. So if we put these 3 bits in now, we see that they line up nice and straight. So as we put them in, sitting in the cabinet, they look nice and straight. I'm going to do that for a couple more, and this cabinet will be done. I'm not going to bother showing you hanging it on the wall. Over time, you'll see it in the shop as I use it. This is what it's going to look like. I'm going to put 2 more indexes here, actually 3, for the rest of this stuff that's laying loose. And the project will be done. I will probably add 1 or 2 more indexes just to show you what we have here. This box is auger bits. This is my twist bit set. My spade bits, my countersinks, my pilot hole countersinks. These are just random drivers. These are plug cutters. We just did this one. These are random Forstner bits. My Forstner bit set will go up here. That's screwdriver type bits, that DeWalt box, as is these 2 little things here. Those are all things like this, you know, screwdrivers that you go into a drill. This is a large set of brad point bits, a nice set. My go-to brad point bits are here. A set of twist bits, a set of twist bits. My stubbies sit here. I have 1 or 2 more indexes that'll probably end up in here, and it'll go on a wall. So that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I do like that it brought closure to the pallet wood project we did, because I did never really give you the final painted view of that. So now you see how I'm using it. So thanks for watching, guys. Be safe out there. And if you like this, go ahead and hit the like button. Please share it if you think you know somebody interested in a video like this. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks again. Have a good day.